The kids are back in school and it's busier than ever, but we all know it's important to put a nutritious meal on the table when they come home each night. Joining us in the kitchen today is Chef Michaele Musel from the NCVA. Welcome back, Michaele.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You always have such wonderful things for us. What do you have for us today?
Well, today I should say, for tonight, we're going to make a really easy, full, nutrient-packed, quick meal. What I've done is I've started off with 95% lean ground beef, excellent ground beef. A lot of times, you know, people always think of ground beef as using chuck. I'm going to use 95% lean, which sometimes comes from the round.
Okay.
So what I've done is I've browned it up in my skillet, and I'm really careful to make sure that I've broken it up into small enough crumbles that it's going to cook evenly. And I want to make sure it's fully cooked. You know, the key with ground beef is that you just want to make sure there's no pink, the juices are clear, it's a nice golden brown. And if you can, you know, we always say, you know, ground beef, you want to make sure that it's at least 160 degrees for safety reasons. So I've browned this up, and you can see that it's pretty uniformly brown and it's heated all the way through. And to that, I'm going to add, you know, roughly 3/4 of a jar of salsa.
Okay.
I've chosen a salsa that has black beans and corn and chunky tomatoes and all that good stuff. That's going to add a little bit extra fiber to my meal, a little bit of extra flavor kick. So, and this, you know, salsa of course comes medium to hot. So whatever your family likes, you just add it.
And what have you chosen here today, medium or hot?
Medium.
Okay. I can add my own spice.
Yeah, well, exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and add this in. And I'm going to kind of stir it, kind of blend it. And then what I've done is I've chopped roughly about, you know, 1/4 cup of fresh cilantro. It'll add like a little, just a fresh, fragrant flavor to it. I'm going to go ahead and add that. Stir that up a little bit. Make sure it's kind of all incorporated.
It's very pretty.
It's very colorful.
Yes.
I like this.
Festive.
Exactly. And then I've shredded, you know, roughly about 1.5 cups of pepper jack cheese. This is where I'm going to get some of my kick as well.
Right.
So like I said, you could use a Mexican cheese blend. You know, you can really tailor these recipes to your family's liking. But I love this kind of cheese. So I'm going to add all of this in. And what the cheese is doing, it's going to bind all these ingredients so that when it comes time to be making my quesadillas, it's all going to stay together.
Of course.
So I'm going to go ahead and mix all of this up. And I've already made 3. This recipe makes 4, so I'm going to make an additional one. And we're going to end up putting this into a 350-degree oven for roughly, you know, 10 to 12 minutes, just until it's kind of toasty and melty and
gooey,
you know,
and perfect.
Exactly,
right.
Exactly. Because you've already heated your filling, so you don't have to wait till that completely heats up. So I'm going to go ahead and take about 1/4 of this mixture, and I'm going to put it inside, like on 1/2 of a flour tortilla. These are about 10-inch in diameter.
Could you use corn tortillas? I know they're smaller, but you could.
Oh, absolutely. You would just make more of them. So instead of 1, you'd get maybe 2 corn tortillas. So I'm going to go ahead and spoon some of this in onto one side.
It's really too bad you can't smell this. It's beautiful.
It is making me hungry. But that's the point. So I've spooned about 1/4 in, I would say. Kind of tuck that in there. I'm going to go ahead and fold it in half, put it in here, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in my oven.
And how long did you say to leave it in the oven?
About 10 to 12 minutes.
Okay.
And then, so this is what we have. Really kind of, you know, toasty, crispy, nice filling. We've got some extra salsa on the side to dip. What I took is I took some light sour cream, added some spice to it.
Wonderful.
I added a little bit of cumin and chili powder. And you can play around with that kind of stuff. A little bit of lime juice would be good. And then I just added some fruit to make it a well-rounded meal.
That's a beautiful presentation. Thank you so much, Michaele.
Thanks.
Thank you for your great ideas.
Sure.
For more on this delicious beef recipe, you can visit our website at cattlemantocattleman.org.